Well, no, I guess that wouldn't work, but... Huh. What are we supposed to do now? We got the little green crystal. But... what does it want us to do? Like, the only other room with a crystal in it had a crystal in it. It's like... but it was trapped or something. Anything else to be done here? No turning it off. Okay, that's definitely going to the astral plane then. So, what? You can't turn it off. It's just constantly going. Whatever that might mean. So we need a lever or something.
Thanks, little buddy.
Unless maybe the crystals are supposed to go in there. And is it just me? Or is this like pipe organ like suddenly making this game sound like a ballpark? I don't know why I keep getting hung up on this. Well, probably because it looks like that's the way we need to... Wait a minute. Power? We definitely kicked on the power. But what else? Oh my god. Getting a headache from this crap. It's not the game's fault, it's my own. I have a short attention span right now, apparently.
All is in your hands now. The threshold has been crossed. Seek the knowledge from above. Understand the past to preserve the future. Room of Emerald, the dormant key to a larger stasis. It has but a solitary door, yet to finally arrive you must travel through many. All is in your head.
I don't know, man. Oh, dude. Okay, so I was searching around in this room again, and I realized, I was right about my theory anyway, so far. That little baby is dressed similarly to how I picture the people in the astral projection were, and it looked like they had preserved the baby and pulled a Superman on it and sent it down, and apparently it crash landed here at Armikrog. That's all I figured out so far. I'm still trying to figure out where the fuck to go. Oh, of course. I started up again so I could have you listen to the shit that was playing on this soundtrack. And all the weird shit's already done. I've had another idea. I really like it. It involves me going out to karaoke tonight. And getting paid. Getting paid is good.
That really helps.
But also, I am waiting to see what happens with somebody getting here. I thought because I grabbed a crystal, maybe they'll work with me now. That lock has a P on it. And see, the music's different. This room is massive. Wait a minute. Why can't I just take this lever? Interesting. Well, shit.
I am Abraham Lincoln.
Hello, everybody. It's me again. And I feel like an idiot. But that's what happens when Sydney plays these games. I started over because I thought maybe I glitched, maybe something. Nope. Walked around, picked up P again. Hey, I named the baby P. Leave it alone. And as I was coming back in here looking for anything, once again, I mean, I'm sure in the old clip we can cross-check it, and this would probably be here the whole time, but I don't think it was. I don't think this was here last time. I'd have to play back the tape to see. So there's a fun little Easter egg for you. Go back to the old video and see if that was even there, because I'm pretty sure it wasn't. Anyway, I'm excited. For those of you just joining us, this is Armikrog. I don't know what I was expecting.
Whoa, yeah, this is great.
Oh. Oh, interesting. By the way, those changed as well because I guess the puzzles from playthrough to playthrough. Some of them apparently may remain the same, but I don't know. So far, I think the new Abraham Lincoln was different. No, the same. The Abraham Lincoln was the same. No, 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 no. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work, Sydney. Why don't we just go right here? No. No, exit. Okay. No, can we just... There we go. Alright, we're gonna go do that puzzle and then we'll be right back. Alright, so we got that done, and now that panel actually makes sense to me, so we are officially moving on today. See? It's one of those things. Put it down, come back. I wasn't about to give up on this game because of that. I've waited too long for a new Neverhood game. Again, a few years too late, but I mean, I'm very happy with it. Whoops, I went the wrong way. I've already seen the dinosaur on the light. Nope. Not claiming, fucking Tommy not. Oh my god. So, this might not mean much to some of you. If you've heard me talk about these games earlier, there is a game called Boombots, and in Boombots, pretty sure it's just a whole separate, you know, universe or fandom from the regular Neverhood stuff. But anyway, I was looking on the cover of it because, you know, I'm starting to collect, you know, these old favorite games of mine. And I noticed, like, really tiny, there was actually Clayman standing there, which really makes me hope that he's a playable fighter, or you encounter him or something. I don't know why he's there, but let's just appreciate this music. That looks like an off-rail. I bet you that's... Okay. Okay. Is it over here? Okay, cool. I said, okay, cool. Go down. Damn it. Oh my god. Elevated structure tear. Well, okay, I don't think Tzurk they were in the elevated structure tear, but again, that was Planet Skull Monkey. This is not Planet Skull Monkey. Come on, don't be spacist. What the fuck? Oh. Oh, cool. Okay. So we got some blocks to move around, I see. How do we, how do... Wait. Oh. Oh, okay. I see. Oh shit. I'm actually like clicking and dragging it. Okay. That's cool, I guess. Oh no. Oh lord. What if I were to... I've done a puzzle like this before. It's none too helpful. This is... Oh boy. That looks like the guy that was guiding us earlier. Oh. Oh my gosh. I think that's actually a really great idea. I think that's how I solved something like this before. Because I was like, okay, put that on the top slot, then wait, can I do two at a time? No? Okay. Just one. For now. There we go. See, Sydney's smart. Okay. Finger blasters. Jeez. I freaking love that skit so much. Oh boy. So I betcha... Yep. Just like last time. Just like well-oiled machine. Now, to do this in an instant. Oh, a whole nother building. Maybe it's just this whole another section, but you know what I mean. Whoa, look at that. Okay. You know, like, I'd totally be missing something in here. Huh. Well, another lever thing. Guess there'll be a lot of levers in Armikrog. Hope you're a lever fan. Hit that subscribe button if you love levers, baby. Another lever thing. You've been zapped. Here we go. What? Oh shit. Oh my god. We gotta go back to... I feel silly for even saying this. But guys, we gotta go back to Abraham Lincoln. This is not that though. But actually, as long as we're doing it, I mean, I guess we can do something. You guys have no idea how much happiness I have right now. It's a lot. I love the Neverhood. Wait, is that? Oh, you sneaky fucks. Oh, that's a thing of beauty right there. Because that's exactly what we need.
Greetings, friend. I am Abraham Lincoln. Greetings, friend. I am Abraham Lincoln.
That's what it fucking says. So what am I missing here? Everybody else seeing this shit? Like, would you get on the fucking tentacle? Well, let's go try that again. Oh my god. They gotta be different colors? Oh no. I didn't catch any colors. Well, wait a minute. God damn it. I'm reviewing the footage, hang on. Every click was yellow. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Maybe they're different colors sometimes. Damn it. Well, how would I know what the color thing is about? Oh, no. Well, we've got a predicament. Anything else in here? Okay, what the heck? Why don't you interact with this bowl? Oh, shoot, I'm sorry. Well, damn it. I don't know what to do now. I know what the clicks were all, but... Shit. Oh, boy. Well... we got a few different kind of combinations to try to enter here, so... What the hell? We'll be back. Help me, O wise one.
All is in your hands now. The threshold has been crossed. Seek the knowledge from above. Understand the past to preserve the future. Room of Emerald, the dormant key to a larger stasis. It has but a solitary door, yet to finally arrive you must travel through many.
Oh my god, if I missed a door, oh my god. Oh my god, I missed a whole fucking area. Jesus Christ. Who are these people? Jason Spear, Bob Dahl, Elliot Balo, Skello, Tetsuya PK, Jethber? Something to that effect. Oh, I can already tell. This is a puzzle room. Armikrog flag. Like, declaring in the name of Armikrog, or declaring an Armikrog? I don't know. Huh.
That looks kind of familiar.
What the fuck? It is a button. Can't do anything with the button, apparently. Oh, this!
Inspire others to great heights, and your objectives shall be reached. A small room is a tall room, depending on where you put the floor. Although peaceful by nature, we do have some light artillery. Its operation requires a correct answer. Consider this. To travel faster, could it be best to travel farther?
Okay. Click on this wall here. What the fuck? Whoa. Wait, is it? Dude, this is all different stuff. Holy crap. Okay. So, I know some of you may not be into it. Some of you may. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a little Well, I guess if you don't want to read through it, I guess skip through it, you know. But I'm gonna create a new Skippy segment, so hopefully, I don't know. You'll figure it out. Skippy segment. That's not even a word. If you wanna follow along and check out this tablet here of all this stuff. Actually, it looked like from what he was saying something like I found myself in. Yeah, so it sounds like a first person. So it sounds really cool. So I'll go ahead and stop this here, and then we will continue. Hang on. The Blank Miner. For 7 years I did not see Meva, though I heard her name in passing. I did not love her because I did not know her by name, but I loved her presence in the universe, her person. Even if she knew me, she could not love me, for I was unlovable. Back in the mine, she was spared the worst of me, though Meva would come to be the focus of my desire. My attraction to her could not be expressed by the brute that I was. I was but a few steps up from an animal, yet my desire for her was beyond anything else I knew or loved. It was worship. I was raised in a blank mine. Blanks are slices of rock which are held to the forehead so a thought can self-scribe onto the surface. When a blank has been scribed, it is called a thought rock. Some are more valuable than others, though usually come with greater meaning when they are scribed on a blank. The laws of our civilization are inscribed upon a series of blanks. The best thought rocks are displayed in museums and studied. Whole libraries full of thought rocks are preserved and handed down for future generations to enjoy. In threat of war, thought rocks are moved underground or protected by armies. While thought rocks are important, mere blanks are considered mundane. They are inexpensive to mine, in part because the labor to mine them is cheap. It is the task of the lower class to dig them out of the ground. Because I have no honorable blood in my line, I was given no education and no other option for work. I was destined to be a blank miner. I am Tzurk. The foreman of the blank mine was a broad-shouldered, ambitious, loud man named Jackson Rexon. It was he who told us where to dig and for how long. His favorite miners were given top-level duty. I was not his favorite, but my productivity was of importance to him. Top-level duty meant we were digging at the highest level of the mine and usually got to see light at least 4 times a day, when the Hall of Blanks were taken to the surface, and we got to sleep above ground in tents while crews from other levels had to sleep in the mines. I had worked my way up from the lowest levels of duty to finally gain a place among the top level. Jackson Rexon liked having me there because the yield increased when I joined and he could trust me even when he wasn't watching. This is when I first saw Meva. Jackson Rexon was far braver than I, and his blood superior to mine. He came from an intimidating level of education and power, so of course she would willingly be his. Every day he would come to work and speak of the beautiful Meva. At first I was disinterested, but the more he talked of her, the more my interest grew. Still, I had not yet seen her. Then one day, when I was near his office, alone and unwatched, I decided I would sneak a look at the thought rock with her image that Jackson said was upon his desk. I remember the day well, for it was the pivot on which the rest of my life turned. It was the moment I discovered love. The office was dusty and cluttered with piles of thought rocks. Natural light streamed in through a single hole in the ceiling, a perk of being a foreman of this mine, and bathed in that light was the thought rock with Meva's face inscribed upon it. I was like a creature waking from hibernation. I stood stunned, unable to move. Her beauty was beyond anything I could have ever thought. I would have gladly given 1,000 days on the surface light to meet her face to face. Her features were wondrous. I studied every detail. Approaching footsteps interrupted my trance. I put the slate back on the desk and pressed my back against the wall behind a stack of thought rocks. Jackson Rexon entered, walking right past me. He went to a stack of thought rocks at the back of the office and began searching through them. In his moment of distraction, I fled unnoticed. Borox, my tent mate, always slept with his eyes open, so it seemed like he was staring at me. This disturbed me, but that night I didn't even notice. They say that working in the blank mines puts blank particles into your body. Some say blank particles soak into the skin via pores. That would explain a lot, because Meva's face was inscribed into my mind as if my brain was a blank, and the image of her has not faded since. The next morning, we were back to mining on top level duty, but I could not concentrate on carving blanks from the rock walls. My heart was still on the image of Meva. In a moment of passion, I threw down my tool and leaned against the wall of mine. I told myself to stop thinking of her. After all, I did not know her, and she would never know a thing like me. At that moment, the image of Meva etched itself into the mine wall before me. I looked to either side, terrified that a fellow miner had seen it, but my crew was working a little further down the shaft, and no one was looking my way. Quickly, I cut the image of Meva from the rock and tucked it into my pocket, but I was not to be so lucky. Another image of Meva inscribed itself on the blank cave wall, but this time it was 8 heads tall. There was no way I could hide it. To my horror, images of Meva scrawled all over the walls and ceiling of the cave. The members of my crew cried out in shock when images of Meva appeared in front of them. I was terrified of what Jox and Rexon would do to me, but the sheer number of images saved me. It was impossible to tell who was responsible because they were everywhere, even in front of Jox and Rexon. I regained my head and feigned ignorance. "What's going on?" I asked. Jox and Rexon threw his stool in rage. Not only was one of us obviously thinking of his gal, but of the day's yield of blanked rocks was ruined. "Who did this?" he screamed. All eyes went down. No one spoke. He repeated the question. Again, there was no response. I feared him too much to tell the truth. In a fit of jealous rage, Jox and Rexon switched the entire top crew with the lowest crew in the mine, the Ditchmongers. Ditchmongers saw the light of day once a month, at best. They slept in the mine in sleeping bags because the 8-mile walk to the surface would take up too much of the workday. We had nothing but old dirty sleeping bags to warm us in those dark caves. It was on the first night in the deep caves, while I lay in my sleeping bag, that I discovered the thought rock of Meva I had tucked into my pocket. I had forgotten it, but now it warmed me in a way that the light of day could not. And now more than ever, I wanted to see her, face to face. The Ditchmongers. We worked by lamplight in the lowest of the blank mines, our eyes strained to adjust to the pitch black. My crew numbered just over 20, but I was closest to Borox. Not that we had anything in common. He was of noble blood, caught beating a servant and sent to prison for a year. Upon release, his father arranged for him to work at the top-level crew to develop his character before going back into surface society. The only thing it gave Borox was new victims. Borox had a nose for finding weakness in others and exploiting it to his advantage. When a new member was added to the team, Borox would bully them, first verbally, then physically, until they fought back. It was how he tested them. He found their breaking point. Even though I was the lowest of the low, he never attacked me. At the time, I didn't know why. I now think it was because we were assigned together as testmates while on the top level. Borox probably thought it unwise to create strife with the person in which he shared his sleeping quarters. Now demoted to Ditchmonger, sleeping in the open caves, Borox's abstention of abuse toward me continued. Some members of our crew were captured in the Wanadi Desert and sold to the mine as slaves. 2 of them, Jeg and Joe, were wrinkled twin brothers who talked to the walls as they mined the rock. They would apologize to the mountain for the injury they were about to administer. It was all in their Watanese language, and they would translate their favorite sayings to us. The brothers took turns pounding the same chunk of rock while chanting in unison, "Armikrog, Armikrog, Armikrog." There was another blank miner I feared, though not in the way others feared Borox. This miner had a thin frame and a nervous smile. His face was caked with black earth. His smile expressed jagged, yellow teeth. To be near him was akin to walking past an open grave at night. His name was Weave. My first assignment as Ditchmonger was to work side by side with Weave in a narrow shaft. The planks we cut were stacked on a hoist, which, when fully loaded, was pulled up and out of the shaft, unloaded by others, and then lowered again to us. This was the first time I had worked alongside Weave, and it was unnerving. He would mumble all day long, using my name as if we were having a conversation. "Tzurk, you work long?" "Yes, Tzurk work long." But when I tried to reply, he would argue that he hadn't said anything. I grew to despise Weave and began to calculate how I could get Borox to ill-treat him. I was still, you will remember, not much higher than an animal. Though my heart was filled with Meva, my soul... Meva? I gotta decide on a pronunciation. I'm gonna say Meva based on what I know about the language so far. My soul was dark. Borox refused to beat Weave. I'm sure he abstained because he did not like the idea of doing so because it was my idea. After 2 weeks of working alongside Weave, I was desperate to be rid of him. It was then that I decided to ask the Abominant. Since he worked chained to a steel ball, each member of the crew had to take a turn carrying his lunchtime meal to him. As luck would have it, it was my turn. I approached the Abominant and set the food down on the ground, just barely within his reach. He did not look at me or acknowledge my presence. His massive form was seated on the cave floor, turned away from me. I waited for a moment. My words faltering, for my mind was taking in the misery of the creature. Finally, I swallowed and whispered, "I need a favor." "No." His voice was like a deep rumble. "But you don't even know what—" "I will not kill for you. Not weave. Not anyone." His words disarmed me. I had expected an oaf, an idiot, but he was well spoken. His appearance did not match his speech. "You have worked for weeks next to that sewer urchin. Anyone forced to do so would soon desire him dead." But the abominant was not done. He turned his ugly face towards me. His eyes seemed to drill deep into me. "I know why your crew is working as ditchmongers. It's your fault. It was you whose mind etched Meva's face on the mine walls." A bolt of horror struck me. My knees felt weak and I nearly collapsed. How could he know? He had been chained to a steel ball in the deepest mines for years. I wanted to lie, but what use would it have been? Even if we were only guessing, the expression on my face had already confessed. "Your secret will be well kept with me." "Why?" "Because it is a secret of love." The abominant got up and came over to where I had set the food. Instinctively, I took a step back from the massive form towering over me. Perhaps it was because he promised to keep my secret that I felt that I could ask him a question about himself. "Is it true what they say about your wife?" I asked. Rage exploded across his face. A bellow of anger burst from his lips that sounded like 100 wild animals. His hands snapped out towards me. Before I could act, they had encircled my head, and yet they did not touch my skin. There was murder in his eyes. "Ask me again about my wife, and I will eat your corpse before it cools." He turned away from me, and I fled. To strike a mountain. I awakened my sleeping bag. Through squinting eyes, I see Borax's face, his eyes wide, but sleeping, always sleeping with those wide eyes. Out of my sack, on with my undergarments, worker open pill hat. My chest is soaked from a dream sweat. I had been running in the dream. Was I being pursued? I cannot remember. Some of the others are stirring. A stench fills the air from a bedpan used during the night. I choke on the foul odor. Walking down the mine shaft to our last work area, I hear only my own footfalls and the distant moan of the billows forcing air down into this lowest circle of hell. My coarse, cracked fingers clutch the pick handle. Lamplight illuminates a circle before me. My free hand skims the wall as I walk, bouncing over roughly hewn rock. There are 800 miners, but not a sound of hammering on the mountain walls. I will be the first. Today, my hammer will be the first. I rear back with my tool, my mighty weapon, the one that gnaws at mountains and fells them. I strike the wall, and my life is changed forever. The heart of the mountain. The rock face splits before my pick, and I am struck. Not my body, my being is struck, my very soul. I teeter away from the wall, putting out a foot to steady myself. My hand goes to my chest, rubbing the plate that covers my internal workings. But why? My soul cannot reside there, for it is immaterial. Lamplight from my helmet casts wild shadows along the rock wall. Suddenly my vision is filled with a purple mass. Purple ball of fuzz, held in the crevice of the rock. Reaching in with bare hands, my fingers sink into the hairy surface. It is the size of my fist. It is pulsating, beating. I fell into the wall like diving into a pool. I am weightless. I'm looking back at the surface. I'm looking back at myself. I'm looking back at me. Tzurk, my arm outstretched, hand gripping the new me. Tzurk's face is blank. My old body falls limp to the ground. His helmet rolls across the floor and bumps against the wall. The lamp flickers. I am the mountain. This is what it is like to be the mountain. My feet go deep into the planet's surface. I do not feel large, for the sky above is wide and deep. I feel small. Clouds encircle me. They are a shroud over my shoulders, a garland around my head. Rivers of water bubble up from inside me and pour down my face, back, and arms until they fall from my fingertips into the valley lake. Though made of many kinds of rock, I am not dead. My form is teeming with life. I am a home for bugs, animals, molds, and fish in the water of my belly. The assortment of greens that course in and out of me is beyond count. The roots conspire with the water to split me open, and I give them ground, then take it back from elsewhere. My mind takes in the array of mined passages cut into mine. The miners have cut them, like ants. Burrowing down from the surface they have come. Downward I search the tunnels, but what am I seeking? My mind rests upon the lowest crew, the ditchmongers. I see one lying on the cave floor. He seems to be a long-forgotten memory. A vision of something from a millennia ago. Then I know it is my body, but what was my name? The rest of the ditchmongers are coming. They are coming with their tools to work. They will find the fallen body. They will bury it because it is dead. A decision must be made. Do I remain as I am, or return to what I was? Meva. I will go back for that name. Though I know she will visit this mountain, she will not know it is me. If only I could make her into the mountain to stand alongside me. How we would tower into the heavens together. Our roots would entangle and we would face the storms together. Our unfailing bodies would endure together, forever. But if she never comes, I will never meet her. A rage burns inside my person, and I feel lava bubbling in the bowels of my foundation. If remaining here means being isolated from Meva, then curse this mountain. I must return to my old, frail, worm of a mortal body. But what was my name? Rukt? Zkrut? Kurtz? A ditchmonger's voice booms out. Anyone seen Tzurk? Tzurk, that was my name. The ditchmonger crew is coming. They will find my body on the ground, assume I had been killed by the mountain or the one whose touch is death. They will bury my body and I will be trapped here. Oh my god. So wait a minute. What the hell? Hang on. What happened? Okay. The rock. Okay. No. Okay. Rubbing the plate that covers my internal workings. Okay. Lamplight from my helmet casts wild shadows. Suddenly my vision is filled with the purple mass of... Oh, so he basically just touched that thing and he became the mountain? Weird. Okay. So far it's a story about a lowly worker. You know what the fuck it's about. Part 2 to come.